Hi, Namaste. This is Sandhya here, and in this today's video, I am going to share our chardham experience. This is known as Uttarakhand Chardham or Chota Chardham because the actual Chardham is Jagannath Puri in the east, Badrinath in the north, Dwarka in the west, and Rameshwaram in the south. It means it covers the four dham in four directions of India. However, Uttarakhand Chardham covers Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, and Badrinath. Kedarnath is also a very important part because it is part of Bara Jyotirlinga uh, and very auspicious for Hindus. Since this Chardham is located in different part of Himalayas, it is very difficult yatra and it requires extensive planning and meticulous execution for experiencing the safe and smooth trip. In this video, I will try to help you plan your trip solo or along with your family. There are some additional tips about a Chardham trip while taking your parents along with you. My first recommendation is please take them while they are in their late 50s or early 60s. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for them to undertake this yatra. I have taken my parents to Chardham when they are in mid 70s, and we had to do a lot of extra planning for that. Okay, so let me share all those details as well. But however, I do not recommend you doing that because it is risky. Okay, let me share what this video will cover. The video will cover the Chardham and other destinations and the planning for the Chardham. That planning will include the paperwork, the shopping, the hotels, and other bookings, etc. This video also will include some pictures and the videos of our trip. And there are some useful tips to make this trip memorable for everyone. And since it is extended Chardham for us, we have added Haridwar at the beginning of the trip and Managaon and Rishikesh at the end of it. As I mentioned, we started off from ex-Dehradun as it was easier for us to travel to Dehradun from Mumbai by flight. And we stayed one night at Haridwar and 2 nights in Barakot for Yamunotri, 2 nights in Harshil, which is 3 hours drive from Gangotri for Gangotri puja, and 2 nights in Guptakashi. That is one night before Kedarnath darshan and one night after Kedarnath darshan, and one night in Kedarnath. And next we traveled 2 nights in Badrinath, and from Badrinath to Rishikesh was a very long journey, so we have planned one night stay at Rudrakashi. After reaching Rishikesh, we spent 2 nights there, for exploring the Rishikesh and also taking some rest before taking the flight to Mumbai. Let me explain you what you can expect in this video. There will be few key points to consider before planning the trip, and your dates for the trips, and the list of the hotels we stayed and our feedback of them, and list of items to carry with you, and list of the medicines, and a number of days we stayed at each location, and what to expect at each chardham. That's all. First important part of planning the Chardham is the dates for the trip. Remember that Chardham is open from April to November each year. And I would avoid April till mid-May as there will be initial crowd and it is difficult to complete the trip during that time and a lot of hassles and for the bookings and planning the trip. Therefore, we planned our trip on the 8th June and completed on 21st June. I would suggest you plan anywhere between 20th April till 5th of June. The crowd will be less and you won't get caught in the monsoon. Please do not plan your trip during monsoon. This is really important. This is because there are landslides and related accidents or emergencies during that time. And since we are traveling in the mountains, this is very common, and simply say no. Another best time to start your trip is end of September when the monsoon gets over and the risk of landslides are almost negligible. I would always recommend that you plan your trip before monsoon. It is a lot better. Here I'm going to talk about the important bookings which you need to plan at least 2 months prior to your trip. The first part is heli services. Remember that these heli services are very important for the Kedarnath trip, and these bookings are open only for few days, and the tickets are sold out quickly. So keep a watch on this and complete the booking ASAP. And another booking you need to plan is a puja booking for the temple. In case if you don't do the puja booking, you will not be able to enter into the Garbhagriha to do the puja. So plan your heli services and the puja booking well in advance. And I have provided the link for all of them here, and I will also provide them in the description. And once you complete the heli services puja booking, next is your hotel and resort booking. Again, as I mentioned, it is very crowded, and many people travel, and there are limited number of hotels in the resort. They also get filled up very quickly. So once you complete your the heli services and the puja booking, just go ahead and book your hotel or resort. And next booking you need to plan is a flight or the train booking. Try to do it at the earliest in order to get a better, uh, you know, uh, rate for the flight tickets. And I would suggest you to basically fly to Dehradun, and from there it becomes a lot easier to, start your trip. And the most important part in this the booking is you will have to register on Uttarakhand government site. You means every passenger will have to register by providing the government official IDs and other details. And also, you will have to register your vehicle if you are taking this trip privately. If you are going along with the tour, then the tour people will do that booking for you. Otherwise, you'll have to do it yourself. And remember, complete this booking and registration immediately after you complete all the bookings, and take the printout of every bookings and make a copy of that and keep one copy with your other family members, so that this will be used in case of emergency. And the last but not least is carry your official IDs everywhere. And this registration for the passenger and the registration for the vehicle will be checked by Uttarakhand police at various checkpoints, and you will be in trouble in case if there is no registration. At times they can send you back. Thank you. Plan well for carrying the essential items with you. Here I have categorized them into clothing, essential items, paperwork and the folders, and food and medicine, including the first aid kit, and health checkup as necessary. When it comes to clothing, you will have to remember that even though rest of the India is having summer, there could be severe winter or snow or rain in the Himalayas, and you need warm clothes which are suitable for severe winter as well as for the snow. You must carry a rain sheeter along with you. You can buy on Amazon for 100 rupees, which is light and use and throw kind of a rain sheeter. And the clothes for puja and for travel and daily wear. And since it is a lifetime experience, I prefer to do puja in a sari and also wear the track pant and the t-shirt while traveling. In case of the essential items, you can plan as per your requirement. Those could be torch, batteries, extra SIM card, or cameras, etc. For a paperwork and the folders, remember to make two copies, one for the original and one for the photocopy in case of emergency, and keep it to different people. And you must carry the official ID for each passenger. And the bookings which you have made, have them with you, especially the vehicle registration and the passenger registration documents must be with you all the time. Uh, when it comes to the food, I have categorized them into the nuts and the cooked food and sweets. Nuts you can take it like almond, cashews, like, etc. And the cooked food is like a thepla, khakra, chakli, chiuda, which could last for 2 weeks, and the Indian sweets, which I'm really fond of. And the medicine, I will give you the list of essential medicine which can be useful. For us, it was very useful because me, my son, and my mom got sick during the trip, and that medicine was very useful. And the first aid kit is also important, although we didn't use it, but you never know if it is required. And last but most important is a health checkup if necessary. Since my parents are in mid 70s, I took them to the doctor for the basic health checkup. When the doctor has given the green signal, we undertook the yatra. In case if it is needed, or for you, you can also do the health checkup. Haridwar was our first stop on the trip, and after we landed at Dehradun airport from Mumbai, we stayed one night at Hotel Orkos at Haridwar. It is a decent hotel. We booked 2 rooms, and it is far from Har Ki Puri. You need a vehicle to reach to the location for Ganga Aarti, and also to take a dip in Ganga Ji next day. It is believed that if you take a dip in Ganga river, your sins or the pap will be washed away by Ma Ganga, and that is why it is important for all Hindus to visit Haridwar or any part of the Ganga Ji. One important part to inform you that we had two tours and their passengers living in the hotel when we stayed. It got really crowded during the breakfast. The hotel staff couldn't manage the overwhelming demand of food during the breakfast as so many people came together to eat. It was a chaotic situation. I suggest please go for breakfast after these two buses depart from the hotel. Usually they do it at around 8:30, so you can have a peaceful time and also plenty of food during the breakfast. Lord Shiva at Haridwar, and you can just walk along the river from the parking lot, and it is very serene and beautiful. It just can't explain. You will have to be there in order to experience this. This is Har Ki Puri bridge, and I've taken the picture from other side. This is me at Har Ki Puri, and you can see a little bit crowd here, but in next few pictures you'll see plenty of crowd. Uh, See the large crowd for the Ganga Aarti at Har Ki Puri. Don't get scared of the crowd. Everyone is here for their spiritual needs and religious needs. They are nice to the strangers, and the crowd is huge because next day is Ganga Dashara, and many people uh, from other states have traveled here to take a dip on Ganga Darshan, that is on the next day. Are you overwhelmed? There were people at every place at Har Ki Puri. I've taken this picture from one angle and you could see the same number of people at other side also. It was a really overwhelming experience. And believe me, the crowd was very nice. They were supporting each other, even they didn't know. And everyone were engrossed in their um, puja and their prayers. Shivji from other side at Haridwar. After Haridwar, we are traveling to Yamunotri. We will be staying at Barakot, and this is River Yamuna on the way.
1666.
Another look of Yamuna River. This is a closer look, and Yamuna River is about 2 to 3 minutes walk from the tent. Currently, it is unobstructed views, and you can just walk, but you have to be a little bit careful because it's uneven, and there is a chances you might slip. So have a good shoes. Next day we started from Barakot to Yamunotri at 5 o'clock. This was our car, and best part is that the resort people gave us a breakfast to have it on the way. It was very nice of them, and we reached at around 9 o'clock. I would say 8:30 actually, 8:30, and from there we this is a base basically where we reached, and from there we had to take either the horse or the kachar or the palki or just trek. And for some reason I taken the kachar, my son has taken the horse. My parents are too old, and the palki was most suitable for them. This is a trek to Yamunotri. It's about 6.5 kilometer, and you can see people are on the kachar or the horse, or some people are walking. Most of the people are using the stick to transfer their pressure from the knees to the stick, and it is relatively uh, easy trek.
आप आपका बेटा आपकी माता जी
और पिताजी,
पिताजी मैं दिखा रहा आपके हस्बैंड
और उनको छुट्टी नहीं मिली है।
अमेरिका रहते हैं
नहीं,
घोड़ा घोड़ा भाई
Ah. Another view, you can see my son on the horse. You can see how steep is the trek, and people are actually traveling and chanting. It's very uh, spiritual experience. This is a break points, and you will see the left hand side people are sitting on the benches and having some tea or snacks, and the right hand side there are some small tea vendors are there who are selling the tea or the coffee and also some snacks. Here, my mother is on the palki, and you see why I was telling you the palki is important. She's almost a 74-year-old, and she's cannot walk, and also has some medical issues. This is the puja place, and you perform the puja with help of priest. And the puja is performed after taking a dip in the hot spring or jal kund, what we say. Just a word of caution: the water is extremely dirty, and there are two different places for men and women. In case if you want clean water for a bath before your puja, you can go outside the temple out, and that's around the base of the river. But again, another word of caution is the water will be very cold, and if you're fine with that, you can just take a bath and come here and complete your puja. After the puja and taking the darshan, you will have to go to the Yamuna again temple. And Yamuna is a daughter of Bhagwan son, and his wife Sandhya. Now you know where the name Sandhya come from. Here we are, my mother, father, myself, and my son. After the temple, after the puja, just word of caution: don't look at the pictures. We are very tired after this trek, and then there is a cold weather, and everyone is wearing anything and everything just to keep ourselves warm. So you'll find the pictures are not very appealing, and that's fine. This is again the picture taken outside the Yamunotri temple, and this is the actual source of Yamuna river. And if people go for a trek here, since I went with parents and they wanted to go back to Hilton, so I didn't spend much time here. But if you are the group of youngsters, you can just trek little bit uphill and enjoy the view. This is on the way to the base. Again, it is a similar view. You can see there are the places where you can take a break, and also your horse or khacher also can take a break. Also, there is a place where the palkis take a break, and the passengers and the people who carry the palki also uh, have little tea and snacks. Now, after this trip, we traveled to Gangotri, and this is the river Ganges, another form of river Ganges. Gangaji in a different form. Gangaji in a different form. This is the river behind our resort, and we could hear the sound of river whole day and night. It was beautiful. Yes, this was our resort. It is called Herschel Retreat Resort. The resort is beautiful. The food was also good. This is the best place if you want to stay and write your movie script or write your book, or do some creative work. Just go and stay here, and remember that this is closed during the winter time, because in the snow there are no many travelers, and it is very difficult for them to bring the food here and provide the services to the passengers. Because it is covered under the snow and nothing grows here, it becomes difficult for people to survive during the winter. Most of the people actually travel to Uttarkashi. That is a place where you should be staying, which is 6 hours drive from Guptakashi and 3 hours drive from Harshil. Because from Uttarkashi traveling to the Guptkashi becomes easier, because that will be say around 7 hours or 8 hours drive. But from Harshil to the Guptkashi, it was more than 12 hours drive, and it was very stressful. I was quite worried with my parents. And there are some more pictures. Yeah, this is another picture for the Harshil. I think this was my parents' tent. Okay, so yes, and the place is clean, neat. However, the hot water is a issue, so you'll have to inform them well in advance. They were very nice when we went out early morning. They given us a breakfast, since breakfast came along with the room, and at night the dinner was also quite good. And this is my parents. You get the wheelchair options for your parents at Gangotri. It's just a half a kilometer walk. Me and my son didn't need it, but since my parents can't walk, we have taken that wheelchair options. This is the picture I've taken at Gangotri, and you can see this is a bank of Ganga River. You can take a dip or a bath in a freezing cold in case you can. We couldn't do it, so we just washed our feet and hand and the face. And after that, we offered the puja to our ancestors. However, I've seen some of the brave the people um, who could basically take a bath and also take a dip in the freezing water, and they offered the puja after that. After completing the puja for our ancestors, we can just walk up to the temple and do the puja there also. And if you will have an option to offer some donations here for the poor people, or offer some food for the poor or the devotees. I did that. In fact, this option is available at every temple. You can just go ahead and do it. Here we are after the puja in the temple. This is another view of a small village on the way to Gangotri, Gangaji. Now we are traveling to Guptakashi. This is a view of Guptakashi from the top of the hill. We stayed 2 nights at Nirvana Luxury Camp at Guptakashi. This belongs to the same owner who had the camp at Yamunotri also. It's a decent place and decent food. This is a picture I've taken from the room, and you can see the resort boundary, and this is little away from the main town, but it's a beautiful location. This is the Kedarnath temple, and the most famous temple what we have seen. It's very serene, spiritual, and beyond the words experience. I have just forgotten everything when I reached here. The the world didn't exist beyond this point. You see the number of people and their devotion, the spiritual atmosphere. Everything is mesmerizing. Kedarnath temple from another view. Kedarnath, again, these are the camps. They are not recommended. Please don't stay there if you're traveling with elderly people. It's easy to get the booking here, but it is extremely difficult to live in this kind of camps because it's very cold up there, and the atmosphere is not suitable. I have taken the small hotel room next to the temple. The best place to stay at Kedarnath is Punjab and Sindh Awas. That is the only place I think is suitable. Again, another view of the Kedarnath. You will find there are many the small the hotels or the resort kind of arrangements, but again, please stay close to the temple because you can take the darshan in the middle of the night at around 4 o'clock, and if elderly people are with you, it becomes very difficult for them to get the P2 services or any other services to reach to the temple. So it's better you take a P2 services and reach to the temple area and stay there, and then you can do the puja at around 4 or 5 o'clock. The priest over there can arrange you. The best thing is that you need to do the booking well in advance on online. If you miss that booking, then you can pay some money to the priest and they will help you out. My father on the on the way to Kedarnath, and this is basically a short journey from heli services to the Kedarnath temple. I think this is me, looks like, yeah. This is Kedarnath temple at 4 o'clock. We have taken the darshan and also offered the puja at this time. This is the mountains at 6 o'clock. This is me outside the temple after completing my puja. Just look so tired and don't know what is happening, but just, just a very divine experience. Kedarnath Valley on the way back to the base. Myself after the puja. Now, this is again a Gupt Kashi. This is the beautiful snowy mountains in the morning at Gupta Kashi, the resort where we were staying. It is a Nirvana luxury camp. It's really beautiful. It's a morning view, morning at Gupta Kashi. We are traveling to Badrinath, and you can see the beautiful Badrinath, uh, uh, the view. It's not a Badrinath, it's on the way to Badrinath. I don't know what town is this, but it's a beautiful mountains at Badrinath, the valley and the river. Again, the clouds. This is the resort we stayed at Badrinath. It is called Himalayan Saru Resort. Actually, my mother, myself, we were very sick, so I didn't enjoy this resort at all. And there were a lot of difficulties we faced since we were sick, we couldn't walk, and I had to visit to the hospital. The hospital is decent, and they gave medication and advised me to leave the mountain area because which was not suiting me. So I really didn't enjoy this resort, and the people were extremely rude and the food is pathetic. And the most important factor is we all eat food at around 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. We don't eat late, but here the dinner is offered only at 8:30, and our trip was booked the hotel and the breakfast and the dinner, so we'll have to just sleep and wake up in the middle of the night and eat the food, which was extremely inconvenient, and they are not at all accommodative. Just let me inform you. Again, the view from Himalayan Soro Resort. This is the Badrinath town, and you can see Alaknanda river here. Alaknanda, other side of the Badrinath town. Here is again one view of a Badrinath. This is the main Badrinath temple, and there are two options. You can stand in the queue outside and take the darshan from outside. That is where you can see the people who are waiting for the darshan. And the other option is that you can take a steps from the left hand side, which you see, and go inside the temple premises. There is a booking office where you can pay 2200 rupees to do the puja. This booking can be done online, which I was mentioning, and where the priest allows you to do the puja inside the temple, and that is next to the Garbhagriha. That is where you get closest to the deities. And the puja lasts about 5 minutes, and only the person who's offering puja is allowed to go inside. Although that was the rule, but I just managed to take my son and my mom along with the two pujas we offered, one by myself and one for my father. Don't forget to take the laddus, which are sold outside the temple. Just a word of caution: the laddus are made of ragi, and you need to consume them within 3-4 days. Otherwise, they tend to go bad. Again, view from Badrinath, the snowy mountains at Badrinath. One part is very important is that it was raining in the Badrinath. We did not have a rain sheeter actually, although I mentioned in the beginning of the video that you must take one rain sheeter because you don't know when it is going to rain, and this is going to be very useful. And the umbrella which I was carrying was not at all useful. So please plan this part. This is Managaon. It's about 10 kilometer away from Badrinath, and it is worth visiting. Please don't listen to your driver if he says it is not important, and he might tell you don't need to go. Let's leave, but you will be missing a lot. Since I'm sick in the Badrinath and I'm on the medication, I've taken the P2 service, and this is me. You see here the village, how clean they have maintained, and the entire Managaon is really beautiful and clean. Most of the houses are painted here, and they're depicted a scene from Puranas or Mahabharata. You can see the pictures here. I have captured many paintings and art on the walls of the villagers. Here I'm sharing two of them. If you see left hand side, Bhagwan Ganesha is drawn artistically, and other wall is where Bhagwan Shankara is doing Tandav. This is very beautiful place. You don't want to miss it. In case if you want to consider living in a village, this is the uh, option you should consider. This picture I have taken outside Sri Ganesh Gufa or Sri Ganesh Cave in Manibhadrapuri, popularly known as a Managaon. And it is believed that Vedvyas ji composed 18 Indian epics, that is popularly known as Puranas, and Mahabharat at this place. I'm outside this Ganeshji temple, and if you see, this is me, and a professor from Hyderabad has taken this picture. And how Ganeshji looks, I've taken the picture from outside by zooming the camera because the pictures were not allowed from Garbhagriha. And when you climb a little up, you will see Sri Vedvyas Gufa or Vedvyas cave. Okay, who actually composed all these epics and the Mahabharata. Vedvyas Pothi. I'm standing outside here. This is basically Saraswati River. It is extremely noisy and loud, and that is why Ved Vyasji given a shrap for the first to Saraswati River, saying that you are making so much noise. Ganesha is not able to hear what I am telling him, and he is unable to write those 18 Puranas. And so he said, I curse you that you will go silent, and you will become a silent. And actually it happened. I have seen another video that how Saraswati River goes inside and she never comes back. And the river flows underground later. Even during the Deva Prayag, you will find the Saraswati River is also, met other rivers. And this is a Saraswati temple. I couldn't go inside because some construction was going on somewhere. This is a Bhim pool, very popular place. It is believed that Panch Pandavas or 5 Pandavas, all they went to Swarg or the heaven from here, and but they couldn't cross the river. So Bhim has lifted one big stone and created a bridge. That is why it is called as a Bhim pool. The next stop is Rudraprayag, and this is a place where river Alaknanda from Badrinath, and Saraswati in the hidden form from the Managaon, and Mandakini from Kedarnath, they confluence and become Alaknanda. Here it's again I mentioned Saraswati in the hidden form from Managaon, Alaknanda from Badrinath, and Mandakini from Kedarnath. They form Alaknanda river at Rudraprayag, Mandakini. Sorry, this is again the Rudraprayag. When we travel to Devprayag, that is where you will find the Alaknanda and Saraswati in the hidden form and Mandakini. They meet Bhagirathi from Gangotri and confluence and become the mighty Gangaji or Ganges. Here it is. I have created a picture for you. Saraswati in the hidden form from the Managaon, Alaknanda from Badrinath, and Mandakini from Kedarnath, and Bhagirathi from Gangotri. They all become one Gangaji or Ganges.
अलकनंदा कौन सी एक तरफ दोनों का संगम ये आगे गंगा बहती है जाने गंगा माता दोनों गंगे जय
This is the Hotel Vasundhara Palace in Rishikesh. My mom is having a tea. I am here at the Janaki Jhula. Yeah, Janaki Jhula. There are 3 Jhulas in Rishikesh: Ram Jhula, Lakshman Jhula, and Janaki Jhula. This is the Janaki Jhula. And I am at the Gangaji. You see the how big has the river become here.
गरुडध्वजः मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्षो मङ्गलाय तनो हरिः सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वासाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते आसतो सद्गमय तमसो जुदे
The next day was a yoga day, that is 21st of the June, and there was a yoga session going on at Paramartha Ashram. Here we four, after finishing our yatra and just before heading to Dehradun airport. This picture is taken outside the Hotel Vasundhara Palace in Rishikesh. I'm sharing the number of a tour operator. I have taken the help of Memorable India, who managed our hotel and the car booking for us. And Mr. Raj number is mentioned here. You can just contact them in case if you want. Memorable India tours are the official, the local tour operator for Viator and Tour Radar. Most of the NRIs will know them, and they offer decent services. If you see the resort and the hotel choices were okay, except the Badrinath, I had a good experience, and the driver was also okay. All you have to do is manage the temperament, otherwise everything was okay. The important part I want to inform you that when I was very sick, my mother also was very sick at Badrinath, he offered to basically send someone to take care of us. So this is something beyond his call of duty. I must thank him at this stage. This is the end of our the journey. As you see here, we have completed Haridwar, Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, and the Rishikesh, and reached to the Dehradun airport. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. As I mentioned earlier, I have put all the descriptions. I have put all the links in the descriptions for you to visit and plan your trip.